Hello everybody, Chat here, and welcome back to another Cooking Simulator 5-star tutorial. In this tutorial, I will be showing you how to get a 5-star quality on pork chops and lemon baked potatoes, the upgraded version of pork chops with baked potatoes. This is a significantly more complex recipe in comparison to its unupgraded version, because the unupgraded version wasn't difficult at all. All that took was a lot of time, around 3 minutes in total, just for the pork chops to cook. This recipe takes around the same amount of time, if not longer, due to all the steps that you have to take, but let's just get straight into it. The ingredients that we're going to need for this recipe are going to be pork chops, of course, salt, black pepper, thyme, milk, 2 potatoes for lemon baked potatoes, sunflower oil, lemon juice and chicken broth for later, oregano twigs and thyme twigs from the herb shelf, which we will also get later. But anyways, to start this recipe off, we want to make a mixture. And for this mixture, we want to grab a bowl and pour in 15 milliliters, roughly, of milk. Then we want 15 grams of thyme and 7 grams each of black pepper and salt. Like that, and then we want to take our mixture that we just made and pour all of it on top of our pork chops. We'll make sure that as much of it as possible goes on there, and then we can take our pork chop, bring it over here, and we want to fill our pan with only, oh, not quite enough. A little bit over, but it's fine. We want to fill it with only 10 milliliters of sunflower oil. And then we want to start a timer for a minute and a half, or 90 seconds. And we're going to do the same thing that we did for the unupgraded version, and we'll let this cook for 90 seconds, flip it, and do another 90 seconds. In the meantime, we can start working on our potatoes. So we want to take our potatoes, and we want to season these with 15 grams of salt in total. And because that's an odd number, we have to do split as much as possible. So do like 7 on one, or in this case I did 9 on one and 6 on the other by accident. But you just want to spread it as evenly as possible. And then we want to put 9 grams of black pepper onto the potatoes as well. Now that we've done that, we want to take our baking tray, grab our potatoes, and come over to the oven and set a timer for 40 seconds and start. Now, in the meantime, we have a little bit of spare time, so we can go ahead and grab the garnish. We just want 4 twigs of thyme, and that's our garnish. And we can just leave that there for now. And now that this is almost done, we're going to get ready to stop this and then flip. Just like that. Flip that. Set our timer for this again. Start that and come over here as this timer finishes. Now that that is done, we can go ahead and take our potatoes, place them down on this cutting board, and we want to make a mixture using this lemon juice and chicken broth. So we want another bowl, or you can use the same bowl if you've already done that step that I did over there for the pork chop mixture. And we want to pour in 50 milliliters of both chicken broth and lemon juice. Roughly, at least. because sometimes you can do a little bit over, you can do a little bit under, it won't hurt it too much, like that. That will not be bad. Then we want to take our mixture, take our potatoes, and we just want to pour this straight on here. Pour all of it straight on here. If you're not using an enclosed thing, like if you're not using the actual bake tray to do this, you'll make quite a mess, which is what all this is. And then after we've done that, we want to cut our potatoes in half. Just like that, we're done with that. Then we want to take our bake tray. That is done. So we're going to come over here and turn that off so it doesn't go for too long. We have our potato halves, and now we want to come back to the herb shelf and we want to grab 3 twigs of oregano. And now we can go back to over here, set the timer for another 40 seconds, and start. And now all we have to do is wait for the next 40 seconds. Normally I would take the pork chop out of the pan and put it on the plate now, but there's a very strange occurrence that happens during this recipe that I've had happen almost every time that I have tried this recipe. And that is the fact that when going to place down the plate that has your pork chop and everything on it, the pork chop and the thyme twigs phase through the plate. Oh. There we go. Now the potatoes are done, but the thyme twigs and the pork chop phase through the plate, the thyme twigs fall to the ground, and the pork chop phases through the floor, disappearing forever. That is a really weird glitch to have happen, but it is something that happens nonetheless. But now that our potatoes are done, now we should be able to grab our pork chop and come over to the order window. And thankfully it did not phase into the ground and out of reality. We're going to go to the order window and send this out. And this is a perfect 5-star quality pork chops and lemon baked potatoes. A little bit of a heating mistake, which I'm sort of surprised about, because we did cook it for the exact amount of time that the recipe called for, but as you can see, that single heating mistake was not enough to reduce our quality to even 4.5 stars. And that's all that matters. As long as you can get a 5-star quality on these recipes, even if you have a couple guest complaints, it's perfectly fine. But, anyways guys, that is how you get a 5-star quality on pork chops and lemon baked potatoes. I hope that you all found this tutorial very helpful, and if you did, be sure to like the video. And if you know of anyone that may benefit from watching these types of tutorials, be sure to share it around with them. Maybe they will benefit from it as much as you did. Anyways guys, I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.